Okay, this might sound kind of wild, but when I applied to college, I only applied to 2 schools. Yes, that's right, 2 schools. I applied to Harvard and Caltech. Yes, I understand these are some of the most prestigious and competitive schools in the entire world, but I did not care, I still tried for it. Okay, let me walk you through how it felt like, what that process was like, and why I would not change a thing. Okay, so it's December 2020, I opened up my Harvard portal, because at this point, this was an REA, so it was the only school I applied to. I was not expecting to get in. I open the portal and I see the words, "Congratulations." I was shocked. I was blown away. I felt tears coming down my eyes. It was a surreal experience. I just sat there for a second, let the emotions sink in, and it took me a second to really believe that I had just gotten into Harvard. I think for all of us, Harvard always feels like a long shot. For even the best students, it's one of the hardest schools in the entire world to get into. And so when I saw that in my portal, I was shocked. Okay, so what did I do after this? I knew there was still one more school that I really wanted to apply for, and that was Caltech. Caltech, I really liked it because of the small student vibes, the fact that it was really STEM oriented, and I thought it was a really unique experience. So come March 15th, 2021, I opened up my Caltech portal, and to my surprise, I had gotten into Caltech, which means that I had now gotten into Harvard and Caltech. You can imagine that during this time period, I was frantic with emotions, I was very shocked, and it was really an experience that I had felt culminated my entire high school journey. Up to this stage, I've been working really hard in terms of my research, in terms of my nonprofits, and I was shocked when I got these results back. Yet the hardest part now is choosing between Harvard and Caltech, 2 completely different schools with 2 completely different student bodies. It was now the purpose of my life where I had really to reflect on this and see which school was better suited for my personality. I had known that I was someone that was very curious, very outgoing, and also willing to try new experiences. And so I had to take some time to really reflect on this. And so before I give you my decision, let's actually break down the histories of both schools. So let's start off with Harvard. So what do you actually think about when you hear Harvard? Harvard is one of the oldest and wealthiest schools in the world. It's also one of the schools that has some of the most richest history. Harvard was founded in 1636, and even just walking through Harvard Square, you can really see a lot of its history there. Not only in its architecture, but also seeing the statues of John Harvard, seeing the statues of the classes. There's a lot of great history at Harvard. It also has a very big student body. It has one of the highest representations of international students, really which contribute to the richness and diversity that Harvard has. It really is a massive school, over 1,000 students in the undergraduate campus alone, and with the grad school, it's about 7,000 students. And so Harvard has a lot of different students, it has a lot of different disciplines, which meant that it was a really good social setting for you to be able to, talk to a lot of folks from many different backgrounds. And that was something that I felt was very important for my own academic experience. I knew that I had wanted to communicate with scientists, but also folks in law and literature and political science. And so Harvard really gave me that experience of breadth, of academic breadth and vitality, which is something that I thought was very important in a university setting. But the other thing about Harvard is it has tons of clubs. So whether it be consulting or tennis or basketball, Harvard has so many different activities and clubs that it's really easy to find your niche there. I remember one time walking through Harvard campus and seeing a knitting club, and I was super taken back because I thought it was super unique and cool. And this is really one of the benefits of going to Harvard, is that you find your niche and you find your community within a place like Harvard. But the other really cool thing about Harvard was how many amazing speakers I saw. I got to meet Dr. Fauci, I got to meet the former Prime Minister of Sweden, and a lot of other amazing people. Harvard has a unique ability in that it's able to attract a lot of really talented faculty from across the world. And so I'm really grateful for my time there that I was able to network with a lot of faculty and really build a lot of strong relationships with them as well. Okay, let's talk about Caltech now. Caltech is a completely different world. It's a very small university. There's only about 200 students per class. The entire undergraduate has 800 students. And so compared to the 7,000 at Harvard versus the 800, Caltech is a significantly smaller school. But because there is a small community, there is really strong bonds formed within the underclassmen there. And so Caltech, even for the first year, it's a completely pass-fail. And the reason that Caltech does this is because they really want to encourage collaboration. And so the idea is that you'll help your peers out and you guys will really learn the material. The other thing about Caltech is that it's located in Pasadena, California. And so the weather is super nice, it's very sunny, you can go out for walks, even in December or January, and there's a lot of fun sports that you can play. And so Caltech's also a D3 school, and so it's a little easier for you to walk onto the sports teams or join something like lacrosse or soccer or one of these sort of D3 sports that Caltech has. But Caltech is laser focused on STEM. So that means, physics, science, math, computer science, you name it, Caltech is extremely locked in on that. And so what you'll often see from Caltech students is, it'll be 3 in the morning, they're grinding on a P set, and so it has that, very intensive academic sort of ring to it. And some of my friends that have gone to Caltech have sort of reified this point that it's definitely a point where, or a school where you actually learn the material very well. I will say though, Caltech has some of the smartest students in the entire world and some of the best STEM students that I've ever met in my entire life. Socially, it is a bit quieter. There are a lot fewer clubs, but there are a lot more STEM-based clubs. And so if you're really passionate about STEM, I would say Caltech is a fantastic school for you. Not only is it in Pasadena, California, but you do have that smaller undergraduate feel, which means that you'll likely make stronger bonds with your peers. And, I think that the course rigor is also very challenging, which is good. It'll prepare you very well for grad school or a future career as well. Okay, so what's in the Harvard package? So you get this package here from Harvard. You open it up, it shows your acceptance letter. It shows a sticker, right? So you see the Harvard sticker here. You will get the Harvard class logo here. I was class of 2025, so you'll get that one. You'll then get a little bit of information about the class. And you'll get your congratulatory letters here as well, from none other than the dean herself. And then Harvard will also give you a certificate that proves that you are qualified of being admitted to Harvard. Okay, what do you get if you get into Caltech? So Caltech's package looks like this. You get a letter, which is a congratulatory letter from the Dean of Undergraduate Admissions. You'll get this really cool postcard here. Pan that up there. You will also get a lot of really cool informative information about Pasadena, the class size. And then you'll also get some information about some of the sports at Caltech. So you have some really cool sports there. And then their year in review. So I remember I applied during the COVID year, and so for them, that was a big thing, was the masks and being protected while teaching. And I'm sure you all remember the Zoom classes, of course. Okay, so where did I end up? It's probably no surprise, probably because you see my shirt and the Harvard degree right here, that I ended up going to Harvard. So why did I end up going to Harvard? I ended up going to Harvard because of a few reasons. First of all, I really wanted a larger class size. I knew that I was someone that had a lot of different interests. I wanted to join some sports teams. I wanted to do research. I wanted to have friends from different backgrounds, and so part of that was why I went to Harvard. But also I really wanted to sort of go to the East Coast. I had really wanted to go to Boston for a long time. It's close to New York, it's pretty close to Connecticut, and so I thought it was a good place for me. So, looking back on it, I really have no regrets. I think it was a great experience. I made some of the best friends that I have today there, met some of the best mentors there, and I would say going there really changed my life. So I'd say my advice to you is really go to a school where you're gonna feel like you're gonna be supported. Go to a school where you're gonna feel happy, where you're gonna have some of the best friends, and where you're gonna be able to thrive. Because at the end of the day, it's not the school that makes a student, but it's the student that makes the school. And so if you come to that school and you really take advantage of all the resources, you're gonna be successful no matter what. So yeah, 2 schools, but 1 decision. It was a whirlwind of a journey applying here, and really was the culmination of my entire high school experience. And if you're applying to college right now, drop your story in the chat. Be happy to chat more. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck. You got this.